Hey, welcome to Skate Church, by the way. Hey, we're in week number 2 of this series called How Not to Be a Fool. And I'm convinced that every one of you guys, including myself, convinced that every one of us really desire to not be a fool. Even though we do foolish things sometimes, even though we do things that seem moronic, even though we do things sometimes that whether we mean to or not, they're foolish, we're talking about how not to be a fool. And it seems like, you know what, we do foolish things sometimes, don't we? And it's a reality that we do foolish things. A lot of times, things that we regret, things that have some consequences, but we're all in the same boat. We all do some foolish things. Sometimes we think about what we're doing, sometimes we don't. Sometimes it's premeditated. And I want us to turn right now, and we're going to look right in the middle of the Bible and in a section that's called Proverbs. In this area, this is what's known as wisdom literature. This is where the Bible talks about foolishness, about being a fool about 100 times. And it talks about wisdom being the opposite of foolishness. And if you got a cell phone like Solomon, go ahead and put that up for me so you can listen well. I want you to hear this. Thanks, dude. So, this book of Proverbs has this, what's called wisdom literature. It's full of stuff about how to not be a fool. And here's what I'm going to give you tonight. You guys ready for this? Here's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you an awesome tool to help you not be a fool. In the book of Proverbs, right in the middle of the Bible, there's 31 chapters. Some people describe it as there's a great chapter for every day of the month. And the book of Proverbs talks about foolishness, and it talks about wisdom. It talks about how to not be a fool. And some of this is going to be up on the screen for you. And the first verse we're going to look at out of Proverbs says this: "He who trusts in his own heart is a fool, but he who walks wisely will be delivered." He who trusts in his own heart is a fool, but he who walks wisely will be delivered. I underline that word delivered just so I can unpack that word for you a little bit. Delivered means kind of to be kept safe. And you might ask, okay, Mason, to be kept safe from what? To be delivered from what? What is wisdom going to deliver me from? What is it going to keep me safe from? Here's the 3 things I would say. Wisdom will keep you safe from regret. Wisdom will keep you, walking wisely will keep you safe from consequences, and it will keep you safe from pain. And I want you to figure this out for yourself, because you're either on one side or the other. You're either on this side of trusting in yourself, and the Bible says that the person who trusts in himself is a fool, or you're over on this side of the person walking in wisdom. Figure that out for yourself. Which side are you on? Are you leaning on the side where you're trusting in yourself and most of your actions are foolishness? Or you're leaning on the side where most of your actions are wise and you're delivered and you're kept safe from pain and consequences and regret? Our choices determine our direction in life. Your choices will determine the direction in your life. Your choices will determine the destination in your life. For example, when I was 16 years old, I made a very brave choice in my life. I didn't know much about God. I didn't know much about who this Jesus guy was. But based on what I knew, I made a choice and said, you know what? God, with what I know about you, with what I know about how you died for me and how you want to give me life to the fullest, I'm going to choose to invite you into my life and let you lead the way. And that choice has determined a lot of the direction and the destination in my life. In the Bible, Ephesians 5 says this: "Therefore be careful how you walk, not as unwise men, but as wise, making the most of your time, because the days are evil. So then, do not be foolish, but understand what the will of the Lord is." Careful means this. Careful means don't be careless. To be careful means don't be careless. And I hope you guys catch that. To be careful means don't be careless. And you might say, why? Mason, why should I be careful? And I want to point out right what it says right here. And you might go, hold on, I don't get that. Because the days are evil. Because the days are evil. I'm not saying everything about life is evil. I'm not saying everything on TV is evil. I'm not saying everything at parties are evil. I'm not saying everything that you guys do is evil. I'm not saying everything on the internet is evil. I'm not saying everybody should just go to homeschool and be kept in a bubble and not get to go to a movie or anything. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying everything is evil. I heard this comment last week, and I think it makes a lot of sense, and I want to challenge you guys with this. The comment is this: you do not live, or we do not live in a morally neutral culture. You and I do not live in a morally neutral culture. The reality is you and I live in a morally negative culture. I'm going to give you a filter. I'm going to give you a tool to filter every temptation, every decision, every thought, everything in front of you. I'm going to give you a filter to pass things through. And here's what it is. It is the best question ever. It is the best question ever. And this question, I promise you this question will help you for the rest of your life make wise decisions. This question will help you make wise decisions. And it's broken down in 3 parts. It's one question, but it's broken down in 3 parts. Here's what it says. Here's what it is. The best question ever. Based on my past experiences, based on my current reality, and based on my future hopes and dreams, what's the wise thing for me to do? Are parties bad in general? No, parties aren't bad. Are you going to get arrested by just going to a party? No, you're not going to get arrested by just going to a party. Are you going to get drunk just because you go to a party? No, you're not going to just get drunk because you go to a party. Are you going to make bad decisions just because you go to a party? No, you're not. But for my friend Byron, based on his past experiences, based on his past problems with alcohol, it was not a wise thing for him to go to parties like that. So we just chose not to go. It was a good thing. It was a wise move on his part. Hopefully you get the picture. Based on my past experiences, what's the wise thing for me to do? What about this question? Based on my current reality, what's the wise thing for me to do? Here's the scenario. I'm in 10th grade, okay? I'm in 10th grade. I just got grounded 2 weeks ago because I lied to my mom that I told her I was going to go hang out at Derek's house. I told my mom I was going to go spend the night at Derek's house, but my girlfriend lived about 2 streets over. So I told my mom I was going to Derek's house, but I actually went over to my girlfriend's house, and we stayed up late, and we were making out. We got caught by her parents. My parents found out about it. I got in trouble. I got grounded for 2 weeks. I just got done being grounded. So scenario is I'm in 10th grade, just got off 2 weeks of restriction. My parents are giving me permission to go over to Derek's house. They're trusting me again. My girlfriend's parents are out of town. My temptation is I want to go over to my girlfriend's house. But based on my current reality, I don't want to get grounded again. I don't want to lose my parents' trust again. I want to regain their trust. So based on my current reality that I just got done being grounded and I like not being grounded, I'm not going over to my girlfriend's house. It wouldn't be a wise move to make. Look ahead and go, you know what, based on my future hopes and dreams, I want to have a career. I want to support my family. I want to have nice things. Let me close by saying this. You guys, we want you to make wise decisions. That's the answer. Make wise decisions. That's a no-brainer. Make wise decisions. That's easy. But if you don't understand the process of how to make wise decisions, the answer doesn't mean jack squat. And we want to help you with this process. Here's your process. Based on my past, based on my current reality, based on my future hopes and dreams, what's the wise thinking thing for me to do? You guys, we want you to make wise decisions.